Okay, hello everybody. Today is Tuesday, September 29th. We are going to be adding whole numbers and decimals by solving word problems that deal with adding whole numbers. So, your first challenge is to solve this problem. So, Scott traveled 557 miles to visit his cousin. What is this number rounded to the nearest 10? So, I want you, whoops, let me erase this. So I want you to pause the video and answer the question. Okay, so we are rounding to the nearest 10. So we're going to rewrite this number, 557, and if we're rounding, we're going to underline the place value, look to the right. So we're going to underline the 5 and look at the 7. 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. Well, a 7, definitely larger than a 5, so that means that this 5 is going to go up to a 6. So rounded, it would be 560, and that makes a lot of sense, because 557 is way closer to 560 than it is to 550. Okay, now I want you to look at these two numbers here. First, we're going to look for a reasonable sum for these two numbers. So that means we're going to look for, we're going to round the numbers and then add them together. And that's going to help us when we go to find the real sum, the exact sum, so that we can check our answer and make sure that it's reasonable. Reasonable just means, does it make sense? So, 24,127, we're going to round to the nearest 1,000. So go ahead and pause your video and do that now. Okay. So we're going to underline the 4 and look at the 1. Underline the place value, look to the right. 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. Well, this is 4 or less. So we are going to stay at 24,000. Now we're going to round 6,890 to the nearest 1,000. Pause your video and do it, please. Okay, great. So, underline the place value, look to the right. So I'm going to underline the 6 and look at the 8. 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. 8 is larger than a 5. So, that means that our 7 is going to go, or a 6 is going to go up to a 7. So that's going to give us 7,000. Okay, so now that we have these numbers rounded to the nearest 1,000, we're going to add them together. It's really simple now that it's just a bunch of zeros. So what is 24,000 plus 7,000 going to equal? Go ahead and solve it on your own. So I'm going to make some space so that I can do that right here. Okay, so we're going to add 24,000 plus 7,000. Remember, we're going to make sure our place values are lined up. So I have the 1,000s together, the hundreds together, the tens together, and the ones together. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is, guess what? 0. 7 plus 4, 11. 2 plus 1, 3. So, 31,000 is going to be a reasonable answer. So when we go to actually add these numbers together, we're going to check it with that 31,000. If our answer comes out to be 100,000, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to find the true sum of these two numbers. So I want you to go ahead and do your very best and add these two numbers together on your own. Pause the video and do it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add these together by lining up our place values first. Okay, so we have 24,127 plus 6,890. So notice my place values are lined up and I wrote the largest number first. And then we just add them. 7 plus 0, 7. 9 plus 2 is 11. So I'm going to put a 1 here for the tens place, and a 1 here for the ones place in the number 11. 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. So I'm going to add a 0 here and a 1 up here for 10. Now I'm going to add 4 plus 6, which is also 10, plus 1 more equals 11. One down here. Now 2 plus 1 is 3. So our answer is 31,017. Is that pretty close to 31,000? Yeah, so we know that we probably got the answer right. But I know for sure we got the answer right. Okay, so now, look at this. What has changed? Yeah, we see that there is decimals now. So we have parts of a whole. But what stays the same when we add them together? Everything. So we're still going to write the largest one first. We're still going to line up the place values, and we're still going to add them together. So let's go ahead and do it. So go ahead and try it on your own. Pause the video, and then we'll do it together. Okay. So we know that the largest one is 4 7/10. So I'm going to write 4 7/10 plus 3 48 hundredths. Now we have a blank right here. 7/10 is equal to a certain number of hundredths. Yes, 7/10 is the same as 70 hundredths. Because remember, each of those tenths is worth 10 hundredths. Okay, so I can add a 0 here. Great, now we're going to add it. 0 plus 8 is 8. 7 plus 4 is 11. 4 plus 3 is 7. Plus 1 more is 8. Now this decimal place drops straight down. 8 and 18 hundredths. Okay, I have one more for you. Go ahead and solve this one on your own. Pause the video. Okay, so we're still going to write these with our place values lined up, and the largest one first. So the 2,964 4/10 is going to be the our largest number. So I'm going to write that first. 2,964 4/10 plus 114 9/10. 114 9. Oh my gosh, 9 hundredths. Oh my. Okay, so I've got this blank right here. So what am I going to put here? Well, we have a 4 in the tenths spot. Oops. So we have 4 tenths. How many hundredths does that equal to? So each tenth is worth 10 hundredths. And we have 4 of them. So 4 times 10 would give us 40 hundredths. I'm going to put a 0 there for 40. Okay, now we're going to add them up. 0 plus 9 is 9. 4 plus 0 is 4. Drop that decimal place straight down. 4 plus 4 is 8. 6 plus 1 is 7. 9 plus 1 is 10. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So our answer is 3,078 and 49 hundredths. So I want you to go to our Google Classroom and go ahead and complete the DOL for today. For science, I want you to look at those slides and make a flip grid showing one item that sinks, one item that floats, and one other item of your choice. But also tell us about the physical characteristics of your items. I hope you had a wonderful day.